Hello, good morning, mic check. We are about to do After GMS live on Facebook. Thank you. We are already online, ready to go here. Everyone, and thank you for joining us on After GMS, making sure you can hear me here. I can hear myself, maybe, yes, no. Here we go. All right. Hi, I'm Tracy. This is Megan. Christian and Ed are also here. Welcome to After GMS.
Yes, it is Tuesday, June 28th, almost the end of the month already, and already we're seeing a little bit of tropical activity on the radar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, things are starting to heat up in the tropics, and we'll talk about that coming up here in just a minute. First, I want to talk about how nice it is outside this morning. If you've stepped outside, you know the humidity has gone away, the hot air has gone away, but it's a very brief break from the heat and humidity for today. But I encourage you to get out and enjoy it while we have that. As you look out across the Piedmont right now, even up into the mountains, we have sunshine and we have a partly cloudy sky across the Piedmont. High pressure remains in control as that cold front continues to push off to the south and east. That'll give us a north wind today, which gives us cooler temperatures, but also that lower humidity, which really is the big story, especially this time of the year. You can get some breaks in heat, but when you have that low humidity, it really makes all the difference in the way that it feels outside. That's the case for today. By tomorrow, that front that moved by actually kind of wobbles back to the north a little bit as a stationary front, which could give us an isolated shower or a pop-up storm in our southern counties tomorrow. Wouldn't guarantee that. Most of us are going to end up staying dry. We're dry today and then likely dry tomorrow. Of course, as we head toward the end of the week, though, that heat will start to build back. It'll feel every bit like summertime by Thursday and Friday and heading into your holiday weekend. For today, it's a partly cloudy sky with low 80s and low humidity. Gorgeous day to be outside for any reason at all, even if that includes doing chores or maybe yard work. Just take some time and enjoy the weather that we have outside today. Overnight with a mostly cloudy sky, we'll fall back into the mid 60s here across the Piedmont. Likely low 60s, maybe even some upper 50s in some of the cooler spots up into the foothills and up into the mountains as well. And while that humidity has gone away for today, it comes right back going into tomorrow and then likely sticks with us for quite some time as we head into your 4th of July weekend. So low 80s today, low 80s for your Wednesday, but we're getting humid again, then back into the upper 80s, near 90 on Thursday again, while most of us still stay dry. And that'll be kind of the story going into Friday and into Saturday and Sunday. Right around 90 both days, Friday and Saturday, up around 90 again on Sunday. And we'll increase the rain chance just a little bit, but still very scattered, pop-up isolated thunderstorms for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and into your 4th of July as well.
All right, a nice break in the humidity today before the summer heat and storms return. Something else We are watching the tropics, as meteorologist Christian Morgan just explained.
Yeah, so we are officially in hurricane season as of June 1st, I believe, right, guys?
Yep.
So things are already getting a little bit active. Is this normal for this point in the season?
Yeah, we would expect to start to see things to get a little bit busier. Things have been pretty quiet so far, but then over the last week or so, we've been watching a couple little disturbances that have moved off the coast of Africa. And if you look down to the south near Trinidad and Tobago, notice it is a little bit busy, but it's kind of hard to pick out exactly what's going on. This is the system that we're watching, and actually this is what's called Potential Tropical Cyclone 2. I know that sounds really, really, specific and really detail oriented. And the reason it's called that is, if you notice here on the right, it does have winds of 40 mile per hour. It does have 40 mile per hour winds, which is tropical storm strength. The reason it's not a tropical storm yet is that we haven't really found a well-defined center of circulation. If you notice on this satellite loop here, it kind of looks like a big mess. There's no nice and neat center of circulation yet, and until we're able to find that, it'll just hang out here as Potential Tropical Cyclone 2. But actually later today, the hurricane hunters will fly planes into this. Actually, 2 missions are scheduled for today, and if they're able to find that center of circulation, then we will have Tropical Storm Bonnie. That would be our second named tropical storm of the year so far, and it'll make a beeline right into the Caribbean. Not expected to be a concern for us in the Carolinas. But yeah, it's typical that we would start to see things to get a little bit busier, even though the season starts on June 1st. Typically things aren't all that busy yet. Now the water's getting warm. Water temperature off the coast of Wrightsville Beach is already in the low 80s, so that water temperature is pretty prime. Water's warmer down there where that system is. There's not a whole lot of wind shear to chop it up, not a whole lot of dry air. So we would expect to see things get a little more active. And then especially as we go into late summer, August and September, that's when we start to see things really pop as a general rule.
Yeah, so Ed, I know you typically say our busiest time for hurricane season is what, September, midway through?
Yeah, if you wanted to get really specific, it's September the 10th is we see a peak, and I mean that just looking at the data there. But certainly anytime after June 1st, it is hurricane season right through the end of November. People don't realize that half of the year we're in hurricane season. And sometimes we even have development in the month of May, but thankfully we didn't have that this year, but of course forecast to be a rather active season. Sea surface temperatures are quite warm. We think we're going to see more tropical waves, tropical disturbances move off the African coast and track to the west. And these little systems and clusters of thunderstorms, if conditions are just right, develop into tropical depressions, tropical storms, and maybe even a hurricane.
All right, so it sounds like we have to be ready for anything this season. It's already begun. The water's already favorable to those storms. So take that in mind when planning your vacation, right?
Yeah, one of the reasons I decided not to get married, well, we did end up getting married in tropical season, but
yeah.
I was hoping that we wouldn't have any hurricanes during the trip, but we did an early August wedding and honeymoon so that we didn't have to worry about September.
Yeah.
But you never know.
September and October, hugely popular in the Midwest where I'm from because it's just so hot in the summertime that September, October, you have just those really nice early fall temperatures. So it's interesting, moving here, summer is way more popular. Spring weddings are way more popular just to avoid the chance that, you could encounter some disruptions for hurricane season.
Yeah, always a good thing to keep in mind, especially if you have I remember last year one of our coworkers here said, I think I'm gonna go. I was like, I don't know if I would. and he's like, okay, I'm gonna hold off a week. And then sure enough, we had a tropical storm for him. And I said, see, I told you to hang on just a little bit. But it's always kind of a gamble this time of the year. Maybe not so much right now, but of course, like you said, Megan, once you get into late summer, we start to get into August and September. Those are kind of the prime time when you're starting to say, okay, maybe I need to keep an eye on things before I really lock in a trip somewhere tropical.
Yeah, those are great months to go to the North Carolina coast. But again, you just have to assume the risk that comes with it. Maybe get some travel insurance or make sure you check with your hotel's policy about cancellations because of weather, just to be safe. All right, let's get to some morning headlines, and then we have another talker coming up. We'll start with this. Burlington police are unfortunately investigating after someone shot and killed a teenager last night. Officers responded to Graham Street around 8:30 Monday and found a 17-year-old with a gunshot wound who later died at the hospital. Officials have not publicly identified that person or released any suspect information. If you were in the area, if you know what happened, call the Burlington Police Department or Crime Stoppers line. North Carolina Attorney General Josh Stein has joined 22 other attorneys general issuing a statement reaffirming their commitment to supporting abortion access in the wake of Roe versus Wade's reversal. The statement reads in part, quote, "If you seek access to abortion and reproductive health care, we are committed to using the full force of the law to support you," end quote. Republican leaders have called on Attorney General Stein to reinstate North Carolina's longtime ban on abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy. In 2019, a judge ruled Roe versus Wade protections did not allow the state to enforce that ban.
Well, the two remaining candidates for Greensboro mayor debated over the big issues last night ahead of next month's election. Incumbent Nancy Vaughn is facing Councilman Justin Outling in the mayoral race. Topics include poverty, crime, jobs, housing, and how the next mayor would address those issues. You can see their full responses on WFMYnews2.com. And remember, voters in Greensboro will head to the polls to decide this race on July 26. All right, summer is vacation season, as you know, and when you travel somewhere, maybe you're not ready to go to the bed and just relax, right? Maybe you feel better sleeping at home. Either way, you hope to get a good night's sleep while you are away.
But a new survey found 68% of people say they get their best sleep on vacation. Here's a closer look. The researchers surveyed 2,000 people and said they loved the clean sheets, the nice mattresses, and being able to sleep in a little bit. But they admitted they do miss their beds at home after being away for 3 or more nights. All right, let's bring the conversation to the table. Do you sleep better at home or on vacation?
Well, I started on the Good Morning Show. Don't have a problem saying this here either. I don't sleep. Maybe you can tell. It's not the bags under my eyes because I have really good concealer for that. It might be the sleep deprivation in what I say, but it's definitely not the under the eyes that gives it away. You know, it's just kind of what it is. And when I go on vacation, I don't plan on going on vacation for me. I plan on going vacation for my family. I want them to experience things that I experienced when I was a kid. And so I'm doing it for them. Everything I do for them. I'm here because of them. I'm doing other things because of them. So I don't sleep, but I know that they're happy, healthy kids, and that's what's most important to me.
I second that. Yeah, and I will say, you know, just in my experience the past couple of years, having now 2 little ones, I don't sleep very well on vacation because, you know, when kids are out of their normal environment, they're in an unfamiliar place. Sometimes bedtime just goes completely off the rails and it's like 10 o'clock and you're like, will you please just go to bed so mom can get a little bit of rest. So I prefer sleeping at home, even though, of course, you know, there are challenges to sleeping here too, especially, you know, as a busy parent. But, you know, that comes with the territory. And so I'm just thankful for any couple, 2-3 hours I can get uninterrupted. That is like a dream, even if it's just a nap. I'll take it. Ed, I know you love your naps.
Oh, yes. The older I get, the more I love just a little power nap for about an hour. Really kind of recharges the batteries. But, you know, I think I can sleep just about anywhere, but I think sleeping at home in my own bed kind of wins out just a little. Just more comfortable being in comfortable and familiar surroundings and things like that. But I never have a problem sleeping.
How about you, Christian?
Well, I don't sleep a lot either.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
I don't know. I've just always been a person that doesn't sleep a lot. You know, even when and you know, part of this is my body now and the schedule that we work. Even when I'm off, you know, I still wake up at 5 a.m. And I'm like, all right, well, we're not doing this. You know, like we're gonna at least lay back down till, you know, for a couple hours and try to fall back asleep. But I don't know. You know, when I go on vacation, I stay up later, but I really don't. I wouldn't say that I sleep anymore. And I honestly, I'm also one of those people, you know, you go on vacation and you're on vacation, but still when you come home, you're like, I kind of need another day or two before I go back. I need another 2 days off to rest from the vacation that I just got back from. I was talking about it earlier too on the Good Morning Show. It's kind of funny, you know, even when I go home to my parents' house to visit, or if I stay or spend the night there, I sleep better there than I do when I'm home here in Greensboro.
Yeah. you made a good point. I try to also take a day after I get back from a trip just to catch up on things, like do laundry, make sure the house is tidy, get the kids back on a schedule, get myself back on a schedule, because I've been in some situations where, you know, you come back from a trip and it's too close to when you have to go back to work, and it's just a lot. It's a lot to do. So yeah, I like taking that extra day as well.
We're hearing from a lot of you on our feed here. Shakina said, sleep better at home. Vacation, she said, is party time.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember those days. A long, long time ago. Let's see. We also had Bobby who said, I'm excited to sleep when I'm on vacation, but says, I sleep better at home. A lot of people, I think, sleep better at home. I think it's just something about being in your own sheets, on your own mattress, and, you know, just waking up to things that are familiar. You don't have to worry about turning on the light when you're, because you kind of know the lay of the land, you know where you're going. It's just more of that comfortability, and you also know the locks on your house work and the alarm is set, whereas if you're in a hotel, you know, sometimes you don't know if, like, you hear a noise, you know, did I lock the door? You know, and you're not really second guessing yourself. There's a certain amount of comfortability, obviously, at home.
Yeah. Rhonda said she sleeps better on vacation, actually, usually wakes up at 5 a.m., but recently slept in until 10 a.m. while at the beach, and she loved those extra 5 hours, I bet. Dana said she does not sleep well in hotels. She cannot stand the white sheets. She likes dark sheets. She also needs a comforter to be a certain thickness. I understand, Dana. You know, it's whatever we're comfortable with.
Some of those hotels you go to and you sleep in, it's like just mountains of sheets and cover, and I'm like, get all of it. I cannot. No, get this off of me.
That's my husband. He's like flinging the comforter on the floor. I'm
Golly.
like, I'm freezing in here. What are you doing?
Build a fort with that stuff.
It's because you don't have a ceiling fan in the hotel room, Christian, and you sleep with
See?
ceiling fans.
You're right.
I listen to you. I pay attention, just in case we have to room together one day. I hope that never happens.
I hope not.
But you never know. We've been in stranger situations.
All right, let's get us out the door with the final check of our forecast. Really a nice morning.
It's absolutely gorgeous in the Piedmont this morning. A little cooler. The dew points have dropped, and it's going to be a feel-good Tuesday with a mix of sun and clouds. A little thicker cloud cover south of the Triad, because that's where our front that moved through yesterday is located, and maybe an isolated shower south of the Triad over the next couple of days. 81 today, 83 tomorrow, and then we really start to notice the heat and humidity come back. We'll be up to about 88 on Thursday. I think we'll be around 90 for Friday and Saturday, and really that'll be the case right on through the weekend. Have you started making those 4th of July plans yet? I think it's going to be a typical 4th of July. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds, and there will be a chance of a few afternoon storms. You just go out and play and have a good time. You have downloaded the WFMY News 2 weather app, so you are prepared. Just go ahead and make those plans for the holiday weekend.
The heat returns just in time for the 4th of July holiday when you're outside. You're trying to, you know, find places to stay cool. You know, it would be great if this weather was like on the 4th of July, but it won't happen that way because that's the way I want it.
We can't have everything, I guess, when you're dealing with Mother Nature in North Carolina.
Yeah, she's just like
in
me.
summer.
Temperamental. All right. We'll have another great episode of After GMS for you tomorrow. Maybe the frogs will be out of my throat and I will be less funny, but more chatty. We'll see you later.
See you.